Many of us tend to blame the life that we are leading. We have certain high expectations of ourselves, of our people. We also realize as the youth that we have to come up to the expectations of our parents, and we realize that perhaps we are not anywhere close to our own expectations of who we should be and what we are. And then we start blaming life itself. And when we grow up with a lot of tension, and there is a lot of tension these days because there's higher level of competition, there's higher level of expectation from all of you, we realize that life has slowly started turning into a burden. And that is when we take to something that even my children tell me, that most of the people in the college think that yes, if I take to alcohol, to substance abuse, perhaps I'll get a relief. And I'm told, although I do not know, I have no personal experience, but I'm told that once you enter that alley called the alley of the substance abuse, initially it does give you a thrill, it does give you a relief, but it's a very temporary relief. It is the same relief that I presume that one you would get from a fragrance. That fragrance and that exuberation lasts you not more than an hour. And unfortunately what happens is that slowly but surely what began as an experiment, that becomes our path to our extermination. Therefore what happens is, number one, we start destroying our mind, our body. We end up into a craving thing, and I can assure you, it is something that even I would know because people of my generation, we are all addicted to something called tea and coffees. Deprive us of our tea and coffee. By the evening time, we are ready to fight with everyone in our homes, certainly ready to fight with our wife, certainly ready to fight with our lawyers, because we are in need of caffeine at that time. Therefore, it becomes a dangerous path for all of us. And look at the consequences that will begin to happen. The consequences are not only that it adversely affects your brain and mind, most importantly, it begins to disrupt your family pattern. It begins to affect those who are around you. If you're the eldest in the family, you're the role model for the younger siblings, and the younger sibling starts wondering whether you really deserve the respect that he has been paying you for all his life. If you're the youngest in the family, the mother begins to wonder whether you should continue to be loved and pampered as you were for all these years. Slowly it will start, and it's a cancerous growth that will eat into the entrails of your family happiness. And then it will start affecting your neighborhood. Before you know it, it will start affecting your city. Because those who are used to drug abuse need the money, need the space, need the privacy from the prying eyes of the police, from the prying eyes of the parents, of their own friends, their own colleagues. And what you thought began as a beautiful dream of escape starts turning into a nightmare. A nightmare where you will find it very difficult to get yourself out of. Therefore, please remember what the Greeks used to say. The Greeks had a saying which said, a strong mind, a strong body. And this is exactly what our ancient culture taught us. When we taught our children, Aham Brahmasmi, or what the Holy Quran says, that we are the children of Allah the Great. Please remember that all of you have a divine light inside you. It is a divine light given to you, not by your parents, not by your school, perhaps not even by the college that you are attending. It is a divine light given by the Almighty, and He is the director of every film. He assigns us a role that we are duty-bound to carry out, and I can assure you, He has already thought of the place where you will reach someday. Let me just share an experience with you. In 1980, when I came back to this country, hoping that I'll study law, and I did. And then I eventually became a lawyer. In the initial days, the life of a lawyer is a life of a struggle, of hardship, for the simple reason, when you have black hair and you look young, nobody brings you important cases. And especially if you're from outside, as I was an alien in my own home country, nobody would come to my doors. And at that time, in the darkest hours of the night, I would wonder, why has God brought me from United States, where I had my family, friends, family, and hearth and home, and why has He brought me to India? There must be some logic as to why I've fallen from what at that time looked like the golden country with the sparkling gold roads and buildings, to a country which was infested with malaria at that time, a country which was known as a third world country. And for 25 years, this question kept on ranking me. What am I doing here? Perhaps I took a wrong turn in my life. And I'm sure this is a question that all of you will struggle as you grow up, as you get a job, you get married, you have children, you have homes, you have neighbors who are constantly fighting with you, you have a boss whom you would rather get rid of, but you can't. But let me tell you, there's always a purpose in life. Even when we think that our gods have abandoned us, they have not abandoned us. They merely test us to see our faith, to see our steadfastness, to see our tenacity towards life. And all of you, for all of you, there is a divine plan. Therefore, do not have any doubts on that Almighty. The day my Chief Justice called me to his Bangalore and he said, Mr. Chauhan, we are sending your name for elevation as a judge. I told him, I said, sir, for 25 years I have struggled with this issue. Why am I here? Perhaps that is what the destiny wanted me to do, to serve my own people, to build my own country, to help my own people, and to get rid of the pains and agonies. Perhaps that is the job that God has assigned me. I can assure you, all of you have jobs that God will have assigned you. The only thing is, your assignment is unknown to you. Many of you will become lawyers, many of you become engineers, many of you will become doctors, many of you will become our parliamentarians, our MLAs. We do not know, but perhaps in this august house, we even may have a Nobel laureate. I'm sure when Amritan Sen was being taught in Calcutta University, nobody knew that they were teaching a Nobel laureate. Therefore, all I can say is, as you leave your colleges, please remember what the Chinese say, that an education institution arms you with 2 candles in both your hands. Carry these candles, and you can be assured that neither there will be darkness in your own life, nor in the life of this state or our nation. Thank you very much. The Anti-Drug Abuse Club consists of the Honorary President, Mr. Mahesh Bhagwat, the Commissioner of Police, Rachakonda, the Working President, Srimati C. Sumanlata, Chief Judge, City Civil Court, Hyderabad, Secretary, Mr. D. Venkatesh, Secretary, District Legal Service Authority, the Joint Secretary, Mr. D. Jagdishwar Rao, President, Bar Association, City Civil Courts. My best wishes to all of you. I hope you will succeed and save the youth of our state. Thank you.
Thank you, Milad. Thank you. Presentation of books also to Mahesh Bhagwat ji. Now,